guys? Sri Lanka Sammi. How you doing? Welcome to my new 5-part series that I'm going to do called A Crazy Love Story. This love story is about someone that I knew in Korea. Nobody you guys know, none of my friends or anything like that. This is just a stranger who I made acquaintances with. And I thought I would start this series. I've done a few of these before in the past, and I thought I would redo one from my trip in Thailand. I heard a great story from another friend of mine that I met in Thailand. And he was telling me a great story, and this brought back memories of this story that I have to share with you. Hold on. All right, so I've written it down because it is a complex story and I got to keep all of it straight. So I wrote it down and I'm going to be reading off of this. So I hope you enjoy this story, and please comment, like, share, subscribe, and enjoy what we're doing here. It's a fun little thing. I'm going to be doing this every Saturday for the next 5 weeks. I think these are going up in October. I'm filming this in September, so these are, I think, according to my schedule, they'll go up in October. So why don't we start off with the main character, Mr. K. So I'm going to call him Mr. K. So, sorry, let me get back to my script here. Lock that in. All right, there we go. Okay, so Mr. K is a guy I met in Korea. As most of you know, I used to work in a club. I used to run a club. So everybody knew me. I was the guy to know. And I was introduced to Mr. K, we'll call him Mr. K, by a casual friend. And he was telling me, oh, you know, this guy's really cool. Why don't you just, you know, hang out, like let him hang out a little bit. I don't know, you know, just, I'm being a VIP host. That's what I do. That's my job. So I meet up with him, and well, I can't really remember what happened. I remember I was introduced to him. I don't know the story beforehand, whether I was told before. This happened, I'm gonna say this happened about 7 years ago. Okay, 2014, 15, I'm gonna say. I don't remember the dates because it was so long ago, but I do remember the story. So let's not worry about the dates, let's just worry about the story. So I meet this guy, we're gonna call him Mr. K. And nice guy. Little younger than me at that time. So what, 10 years ago? Sorry, 7 years ago. So yeah, he was about 40-ish. He was about 40-ish. Divorced, no kids. And he worked in mining company in Alaska. He wasn't one of those ice road truckers or anything like that, but he drove the big trucks. I don't really remember what he did, but he worked 8 months of the year and he had 3 or 4 months off. He lived in Alaska in company housing for 8 months of the year, and he had a house, big house in Florida, which was his mom's. When she died, passed away, he, you know, inherited that. So he had that house. Because he didn't have alimony, you know, he was pretty set on his retirement. Just wait for the truck to go by. So he had come to Korea, and through hanging out with him. Nice guy. Tall, average looking, big. You know, dark hair, good looking guy. Not, you know, not, I thought he was okay looking. I don't know, but he was not flashy about money. He wasn't wealthy, but he was set. He had money to take care of himself, right? So he didn't have to worry about working. He was just setting up his retirement. He was planning on retiring in about 4 or 5 years. So he had come to Korea to explore East Asia. He didn't have yellow fever or K-pop fever or anything like that. He just wanted to, he had so many of his friends in Alaska. One was married to a Korean, and he had heard so much about it. So he wanted to visit and explore the culture. And I think just like me, eventually, he fell in love with the culture and the country and just how easy it is for an open-minded person to assimilate to a foreign culture like I did. So I think, you know, eventually he did fall in love with the culture, and, you know, we're going to get to that part of the story a little bit later. So, you know, I'm working, I can't go out with him, and he doesn't, you know, I don't want him. We became friends. You know, we would go out for dinner sometimes and hang out, but, you know, I can't go with him and take him out places because I'm sleeping, working, and I have a life, you know. But we did hang out. So I introduced him to someone else who I think can maybe, you know, hang out with him more than me. And that was Mr., we'll call him HJ. And those of you in Korea can look at the initials and you know exactly who I'm talking about. Really popular guy in Itaewon, Mr. HJ. Some of my Korean friends will know exactly who that is. So, Mr. HJ knows everyone. If there's one person who knows more people in Korea in the entertainment industry, club life, is Mr. HJ than me. In those days. Today I don't know anybody. Wow! Green parrots! Well, there's something you don't see. Look at that. Right there. Look at that. Yeah! Yeah! So cute! Oh, it's incredible. Oh, no. I would really love to have birds like that near my house. Anyway, that's a distraction. Squirrel! Anyway, so he meets Mr. HJ, and Mr. HJ has money, but, you know, he doesn't mind his friends spending money on him. But they go out and they have fun. And Mr. HJ introduces him to the other side of the Korean nightlife scene. I'm not going to get into too many details about that on Facebook, sorry, on YouTube. Suffice it to say, there are dark sides to the Korean nightlife that not everyone partakes in. And Mr. HJ took Mr. K out to these places, and, you know, they met different people, different things happened, this and that. I don't know the full details. You know, let me take a step back. I got most of this story from Mr. K himself. You know, we still talk online, and from Mr. HJ, from friends of Mr. HJ, who knew what was going on. So the whole story, like the 5-parter, I got from the horse's mouth, or I put 2 and 2 together. Anyway, there's the anyway. Ainsley, enjoy the anyway. So Mr. HJ introduced him to this scene, and somehow or another, can't remember again how he met, but he met Miss J. We'll call her Miss J. Now at this point, Mr. K is about 40-ish, 39, 38, 40. Miss J is about that age as well. About the same age, a little younger. But she has been in the business for a while. When I did meet her, right away, I was like, oh yeah. She knows the score, she knows what's going on. And so he finished he was in Korea for 4 months because he took a trip to Japan to reset his visa, because as an American, he only gets 3 months. So he got his 3 months, went to Japan, got an extra 3 months, came back, and he was here for a total of 4 months, I'm gonna say. 3.5, 4 months, I can't really remember. But he was more than his 3 months. So he ended his time in Korea having a great time. Talking to me and saying, oh, I'm gonna be back, I'm gonna be back. And me, like, you know, I had already been in Korea for, you know, 7 years, 8 years. And at that point in time, I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm never gonna see you again. I'll hear from you once or twice a month, you know, for the next few months, and then I'll never hear from you again. And lo and behold, you know, that's really what happened. He went back to work in Alaska, and you know, he's working 8 months over the winter. And I hear from him once in a while. You know, he'll comment on one of my Facebook posts or send me a messenger or whatever. And basically, you know, I kind of like, whatever. Lo and behold, the following year, I get the text message, hey Sam, plan for me, big party, I'm coming in 6 weeks. I'm like, really? So I find out that this entire 8 months, he has been texting and chatting up with Miss J. Like, a lot. So he comes back and he hooks up with her right away. I think that's a good place to stop. What do you think? What do you think happens next? Comment down below what you think happens next in this story. Not the ending of the story. What happens in this next 3-4 months that he's going to spend in Korea? What do you think happens? Stay safe. Sri Lanka Sammi, part 2 coming next weekend. See you soon.